I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but is my favorite hook for any video because we are watching all of these rich and powerful men collude with one another and actively conspire. And our first instinct is to make sure that no one thinks that we're crazy. Like, what an amazingly effective psychological strategy they have used. Well, as we say over here in Blue Lulu Land, criminals gone crim. And it's no dereliction on your character to point it out. The Board of Peace is a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. They are actively conspiring to launder money through all of these rich, totalitarian Middle Eastern countries directly into his pocket. The countries involved are Qatar, Azerbaijan, Jordan, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. All of those countries have deep-seated, long-standing financial ties with the Joker. The UAE bought 49% of the Joker's cryptocurrency right before he got into office, and he has deemed himself to be the leader forever of this board, whether or not he's still presiding over the United States. And all the rest of these countries are not Christian first, America first places. This is just a straight up scam. It's a conspiracy, girl. The tariff scheme is astounding. The American people have paid billions of dollars in tariffs in the last year, and that money is going to be refunded to mega corporations. They already upped their prices so that we would pay for the tariff in the first place, likely more than we were actually tariffed, and now they're going to get paid again by way of refunds. And Howard Lutnick's kids have gone around and bought the refunds from smaller corporations, so they're going to get paid even more than that. When it's our money. It's not a conspiracy theory. Criminals just gonna crim, and they be crimmin' though. Speaking of Howard Lutnick, he made $35 million a day after 9/11 because it was considered an accidental death. So he made money off of every single person who lost their life that day. And while he usually had perfect attendance at work, he just didn't happen to show up that day because he needed to take his kid to school. You know who else wasn't where he was supposed to be that day? Yeah, that's Rudy Giuliani. He was supposed to be in Building 7. That is where the mayor was set to evacuate. It was also the CIA headquarters in New York. And that building also fell to the ground on 9/11. And you barely ever hear about it. We hear about the first and second tower, but there was a third building that collapsed to the ground without being hit by an airplane, without being exposed to all the jet fuel that they associate with this demolition that we watched on national TV. And yet he's been intertwined with the Joker ever since. What happened to him, by the way, after he was in that very strange car accident? We haven't heard anything else about him since. Isn't that interesting? Poo-Poo has been saying that he's got the T on 9/11 for a very long time, and people have been theorizing that he's been using that information to hold over the head of other administration officials, and anything seems possible at this point. Did you know that Tucker Carlson was arrested in the Blue and White place after he interviewed Huckabee? They let him go, but after he had this interview that was very much pro-America first and anti-interventionalism in that part of the world, they arrested his ass. And it was actually a good interview. The fact that Tucker, Candace, and MTG are carrying the truth of the country around on their back is just, well, that feels like a conspiracy. The State of the Union is on Tuesday, and the idea that he could coherently speak in front of millions of people for 2 hours at a time at 9 p.m. seems like quite a stretch to me, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. I won't watch it the night of because I won't give him the ratings. But the ship is sinking and the rats are fleeing at an astounding pace. No wonder he wanted to stop measuring his presidential approval rating. And the last thing he needs right now to appeal to his anti-war base is another expensive war in the Middle East where we use our soldiers as disposable pawns for regime change. That's literally the last thing that he needs. But here we are. I know I say this every week, but this is going to be a very interesting week. What we're going to do is keep our eyes up and keep our feet on the ground. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!